back to do part 4, and I'm going to talk about now how to integrate in the action of the legs with the band. So we started with the point of just a contact to the band, that we breathe and there's a contact to the band, and then we talked about how to add the contact to the band to the idea of the arms moving away from the body. And you can see, if I exaggerate that, I am in a way pulling my center into my spine. But I'm not just pulling my center into my spine. There's a point that I'm not just pulling my center in. There's a point where I'm dynamically integrating my in-breath in through my body and out through my spine. I'm breathing in. And that action, it doesn't mean I have to breathe in, but there's an action that goes with that. It's not just a hard pulling and bracing. I know that's one way to think about it, but to me this is a more refined way to add this idea of engagement. Unless we're pressing huge amounts of weight, then there's a functionality behind really seriously bracing, because you know, you're serious weights, you're trying to manage and not crush your body. But I'm thinking more in terms of the inner stability, functionality, to get the most from the feedback mechanism in your body while you're strengthening, adding flexibility, and all of these things for, in a way, safe, basic posture. So after the idea of feeling the band and then taking the band into the arms, my next layer is that as I breathe in, my legs start to move. So I end up with this kind of action. I can do just the legs, so that as I'm engaging, my legs are moving, or I can add my arms in with my legs. Now obviously with dancing, there's a point where as you draw in, everything draws up, and then you move out. With the idea of moving a weight is that you contract internally and use that as a leveraging for pushing. And then also as you're lowering, because that's the hard part too, is the controlled lowering of something or the controlled lengthening of something, is that you understand how to stay engaged and not just, and my hope in this, which again to me is the absolute brilliance of what Hans created, was how to integrate the core use out through the extremities. Because a lot of times we brace the core and then we push the arms. But with dancing and riding, it taught me how there has to be a give and take in that. It's not just that I'm rigid in contact, there's a feedback. And I like to think of even using the weights and exercising at the gym, or even I'm walking and I'm swinging with my arms in a normal walk, is that all of these things, that the arms become an expression of what's happening in my body, that my legs and arms become an expression rather than they just survive and I just kind of move along, but instead there's kind of a dynamic action and a healthy feedback. So in this idea, I become connected and then my legs move. So another point is, as my legs move, I connect. You can see there's an engagement of what I'm doing to move a leg. And I start to not just, there I'm setting up my posture, and then the next step is the movement. So then I can alternate my legs, I can alternate my arms, and to be able to move from there. And so in this idea is, that to me is the premise of all the movement. And again, the difference is, you can see in my posture, if I start to slack on my band, then I lose the feel of what's in the contact in my hand. And I have a way of gauging whether I'm staying in integrity. I also can see, am I just pushing and moving my legs? That's different than having everything be, in a way, a pulse within itself in the movement.